Hi y'all. So Roux-en-y for Health here. I am 6 weeks out from my surgery. I had Roux-en-y gastric bypass surgery on the 27th of December 2017. And today, the 6th of February 2018, is the end of my 6th week post-surgery. I'm doing fine. Let me just give you a few little quick stats. So my all-time highest measured weight was 417.9. I just rounded up to 418 pounds. And when I started my program, I weighed 408 pounds. And then when I had my surgery, I weighed 315 pounds. And today I weighed 291.4 pounds. So altogether, I've lost 126.5 pounds from the beginning of my journey. So I'm feeling really well. I've recovered pretty much completely from the surgery. I'm a little bit worried because 3 of my 6 surgical wounds, I had laparoscopic surgery, and they kind of punch holes in you to put the tubes in and the tools in. And 3 of them are not completely healed, but they're fine. They're not inflamed or infected or anything, but it just bothers me that it takes so long for them to heal. However, I am 61 and I am diabetic, and so both of those things can cause you to have slower wound healing. So I do. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, besides the fact that I am recovered well from my surgery, and I'm excited to be 6 weeks out because this was the last day of my restriction on not being able to lift more than 15 pounds, which comes up a lot when you're trying to lift laundry baskets and do stuff around the house. So I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that anymore. What else? Oh, I wanted to talk about some foods that I'm enjoying on this phase of my program. I can still only eat very small amounts. It takes a while to have a bigger tummy, and you really don't want it to stretch out, so you really should try and limit yourself to small portions. So some of the things that I'm having now that I've widened out to I can eat whatever is healthy for me. I'm not restricted anymore to just soft foods or liquids. So I just wanted to share a few things. One thing that I like that I've been getting from Whole Foods, and I'm sure it's available elsewhere, but these are these little boxes of organic split pea soup, and the brand name is Dr. McDougall's. I've actually met Dr. McDougall. He's sort of a vegan expert and has written some books and so on, and so he has these boxes of soup that are actually very yummy and organic and low sodium that you can get at Whole Foods or wherever. And so I like the split pea, and then I also like the lentil soup. And what I tend to do with these is I will mix up some cooked vegetables and a little bit of marinara sauce, and the lentil soup, or I'll just have the split pea soup straight, and I'll just have small quantities of it at a time. I got these little containers. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's kind of tiny, but this is 1.5 ounces, and so 2 of these for me, that's 3 ounces, is a serving. And I have some other little containers that are bigger that I can put the whole 3 ounces in. But basically what I do is I measure out the amount that I'm supposed to have for a serving, and then I sort of space that out over half an hour so that I don't eat too fast. And that seems to work fine. It's important with hot liquids, for me especially, that I limit how much I'm eating at one time and that I eat slowly, because twice now since the surgery I've had pretty bad what's called dumping syndrome. And that's an insulin reaction that we get if you eat too fast, and the carbohydrates or fats hit your intestines too fast, and it can cause a lot of gastrointestinal upset and weakness, and make you, I'm so tired when it's over that I just have to go to sleep, which is not something you want to have happen when you're at work or when you had other things planned. So I'm trying to meter things out just a little bit at a time and kind of watch the clock. I have a an Apple Watch, and I set this for 15 minutes, and I have half in 15 minutes, and then I have the other half in the second 15 minutes. I don't think I'm going to have to do that for the rest of my life, but since I am, you know, I have a 61-year-old habit of just gulping down my food, and I can't do that anymore because of the Roux-en-y gastric bypass, that I'm just using these tools to help me learn how to eat less at once, and it's working. So some other things that I'm enjoying, I started doing this on the soft foods phase, but it's actually really yummy, is you can get these organic, unsweetened baby foods that are just pureed fruit. And I like to mix these in with plain Greek yogurt. Fage is just F-A-G-E. I get the non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and I just put a few tablespoons of this into the yogurt, and it gives it some flavor, and it also adds some fiber. And there's a bunch of different brands. I get these at various stores. Here in Seattle, I go to PCC, which is Puget Consumers Co-op, or Whole Foods, or Market Time, and they have the organic ones, which I like. Makes me feel like I'm taking better care of my body if I get less pesticides and residue in my food. So another organic thing that I like are these Eden Organic Great Northern beans. And what I do with these is I mix these in with marinara sauce. I like this organic marinara sauce from Muir Glen. This is an empty jar, but Muir Glen makes a variety of flavors of organic marinara. And marinara is great because it's liquidy and it has a lot of lycopene and other phytochemicals in it. So I like to mix those with the beans, and then I have a handheld blender called I don't remember what brand I have, but Bamix, there's several different brands. And in the pot, I will puree it so that it makes like a drinkable soup. And I don't have to puree it now, but I was doing that on the soft foods phase. And it, you know, the Great Northern beans have a lot of fiber in it. And one of the problems with the post-surgery diet is that it's lower in fiber because we can't eat as many fruits and vegetables as we could before, just because they're harder. You know, if you chew, they kind of stick a little bit if you don't chew them a lot. So if I were going to make like a serving of soup, I would, just to drink down, I would puree these. Otherwise, I would just put a little marinara sauce and just eat them very slowly. And again, I have a variety of little containers. This is like a medicine container. And you know, I have some, you know, here's one. I actually have some protein hot chocolate in this one, if you can tell. Let's see, here's a little chapstick that I can hold next to it so you can see, kind of get a sense of the size. But anyway, I'll put soup in these and sip it down very slowly over, you know, like I said, 15 minutes for 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces, and then wait, and then another 15 minutes for the second 2.5 ounces or 2 ounces. 1.5 or 2 ounces. So there you go. I'm a big fan of adding the marinara sauce to things just to boost the vegetable content of the other dishes. So here's something I just discovered. It's called Just Strawberries, and it's made by Karen's Naturals. And what it is it's freeze-dried strawberries. So they're very crispy, and there's no sugar or anything added. All that's in here is strawberries. And this whole bag is 160 calories, but it's like 4 servings for me. More than 4 servings, maybe, depending on what else I'm eating. So that's a really good source of, you know, a snacky crunch that's low in calories and good for you. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll have this with my yogurt, or after I eat my yogurt, I'll just nibble on some of these. And it gives you that sense of a crunch without actually being you know, like chips or something that's got a lot of salt and carbohydrates in it. And so those are really good. What else? Oh, so I'm all about portion control right now because I'm still learning what I can and can't eat. And so I like these. I got these. They're made by Tillamook, and they're 3/4 of an ounce for each little piece of cheese. And so they're sealed, and they don't dry out. You know, I bought some cheese before, and I just couldn't eat it all because it would dry out before I could eat it and get hard, and that's harder to chew and swallow. So what I'm doing sometimes is for breakfast, I'll have 1 scrambled egg, and I'll open one of these and kind of grate it over the scrambled egg or put it on top of it and let it get melty. And it's sort of the perfect amount right now. 1 scrambled egg plus this 3/4 ounce of cheese is a breakfast. And again, it takes me half an hour to eat it, so I just kind of space it out. I have started craving fish. I guess that's just a change in my taste and my nutritional needs. So when I was a kid, I used to get these all the time. They're kipper snacks. They're kippered herring, and they're, you know, it's a good source of the omega-3s, I guess, and also just protein, and it has sort of a savory flavor. And this little container, I can eat most of it in a meal, but it takes me, you know, the full 30 minutes to finish it, or maybe longer. And another thing I've been doing is getting the chicken of the sea, the white tuna. I can't eat this whole can, but what I'll do is I'll put it into a larger container, and I'll stir in like a tablespoon or so of the mayonnaise, and then I'll like half and half. So half is a meal, and then I'll have the half at another meal. And this is a really good source of protein, and also the omega-3 fatty acids too, so that's good. And then I found these Light and Fit Greek yogurts. They're made by Dannon, and they have 80 calories and 12 grams of protein in them. And they're kind of smaller. I think they're 7 ounces, but they're very, you know, low in carbs and easy to eat. So one of these is like a perfect little sort of meal slash snack, however I want to style it. But it's only 80 calories, and so for example, I can have this with some of the frozen strawberries, or I can have this with maybe, I can't eat very much banana at once, but I can have like an inch of banana kind of mushed up and blended in here. And they come in different flavors, and so far my favorites are the blueberry and the strawberry. But I also like the strawberry banana. There's several of them, so that's a good snacky thing to have. You know, it's really a meal. You know, it's 12 grams of protein, and if you add that to other protein sources during the day, it's a good boost. And then I've mentioned this before, I'm a big fan of the protein hot chocolate, but this is what I got sick on because I drank it too fast. This is what gave me the dumping syndrome. So I really recommend that if you get, even if it's something that's a program food, you know, like I bought this at my bariatric center, and they also, I got sick on their protein beef broth, and both times it was the same reason. I was thinking unclearly because I'm new to this, and I just drank it too fast, and I had some yogurt with it, and it just flooded my intestines too quickly with too many carbs or too many calories or whatever, and it made me very, very sick. So if I eat it slowly, like I said, if I sip one of these little containers over a 15 or 20 minute period, and then wait, and then have another one, I'm fine. But I just tried to drink it down like a normal person, which I'm not a normal person anymore, and it was too much too fast, and I got very, very sick. So that's all I wanted to say. If you're about to have weight loss surgery, or have recently had weight loss surgery, or if you had it a long time ago, I hope it's going very well for you. This is really working for me. I'm losing, an average since the surgery, I'm losing 4 pounds a week. But, you know, it doesn't go steady. It sort of ebbs and flows. You know, it's sort of like a stair step. You'll lose a bunch and then have a little bit of plateau, and then you'll lose a bunch and have a little bit of a plateau. So I'm on target overall and not worried. And I've gone down from a size 5, I don't think you can tell because I'm not going to stand up, but this is like, I'm swimming in this thing, a 5X, excuse me. And I went shopping last week at Macy's, and I found a really cute blouse that would be good for job interviews and for work, and it's a 2X, and it fits perfectly, so it's working. So I hope everything's going well for you too, and thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.